People who live where it doesn't snow will never understand how quiet the morning after a big snow is. Except when you live next to people like me, because my wife a nurse has to leave a house at 5 o'clock in the morning and can't get out driveway until I clear the driveway with my snowblower. Texan here. I did, February 15th of last year. Winter storm Uri had rolled through our area, dumped 6.4 inches of snow, and gave us 144 hours of freezing temperatures. It was the sound of the death of my wedding. Sunday morning with a cup of coffee. You wake up, walk out on the deck and enjoy the quiet tranquility of a fresh snow. 4 a.m. on Tuesday and you have to be into work and there's 1.5 hours of shoveling to do. Fuck. Being from an area that does snow, the quiet is nice. However, I'd trade all the nice, quiet snows for a state that it was always warm. Brr. People who don't live in my area don't understand what it's like to live in my area. Yeah, no shit? This is one of the stupidest shower thoughts I've seen in a while. Neighbors scraping their icy windshields, somebody shoveling their driveway, snowplow and/or ice truck going down the street. Am I missing something? That's one of my very favorite things about a big snow. We just got about 8 or 9 inches last night and I took the dog out this morning to silence. It was glorious. Snow is an extremely good insulator. It is scientifically more quiet. Standing out in the middle of the street at night with the yellowish streetlights reflecting off vegan snow and hearing nothing but the sound of your own footprints crunching into the snow is magical. From SoCal, and when I see snow I turn into a kid. I wish for snow all the time. My wife says it's overrated. Could y'all please send some to California? We're struggling lol. You know people can go places on Earth like this. By plane, train, or automobile. If you take off from work you can call it holiday or vacation. Never say never. The quiet morning after a big snow reminds me of when the COVID lockdown first started. The silence was almost overwhelming in how peaceful and serene it was. When I lived in a town where we got a few decent snows each year I loved wandering around late at night in the thick of it, just absolute silence and the whole town glowing with all the light reflected around. What's really cool is standing in the middle of a wooded area with slow, steady downward snow, no real wind. It's a silence and peace that makes instantly winter worth it. Source: Minnesotan. I remember when I lived in Boston, one of my favorite things to do was to walk down the middle of what would normally be a very very busy street in the middle of a snowstorm. The city was so quiet, so peaceful. I can imagine waking up in my cozy warm room and outside my windows I can see endless miles of snow. Quietness surrounds me. I make a cup of coffee and sit down. The quietness penetrates inside my mind, and I have all the time in the world. My old neighborhood had natural gas in all the houses. New house has a heat pump so it is loud in the winter. Very different experience lol. Worth it for the savings though. In GA we get like 3 weeks tops of really cold weather. Tops. Usually less. Moved to the desert a little over a year ago and I had no idea how much I would miss the cold. Sometimes I have dreams about that kind of quiet. People also don't understand the agony-inducing noise of a snowplow coming down your road, immediately after you finish cleaning out your driveway. And don't forget about thundersnow. Loud thunder when there is already a foot on the ground and snowing heavily is the most ethereal, otherworldly sound ever. I live about 5 kilometers from the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. We just had a massive snowstorm and this morning it sounded as though the falls were in my backyard. The silence except for the sound of the rushing water was incredible. Another feeling of bliss is taking a walk while it's still snowing. It's so purely quiet, just you, the snow, and the sound of your boots crunching. No neighbors mowing or trimming branches. No leaf blowers. No garbage trucks. No cat fights. No loud-ass birds. No rondo homeless people yelling as they pass or playing music too loud. No chatty dog walkers. It's just bliss. I grew up in Las Vegas. Big, loud, and hot. Moved to a tiny town in Michigan for a few years. Hated the people, the work, and the culture, but sitting on the porch with a cup of coffee and a book, with the absolute silence of a recent heavy snowfall. Man, I miss that. I just got to experience snow for the first time in my life 2 weeks ago in Tennessee. I've lived most of my life in Florida, so it was pretty surreal and cool. It got old after 2 days though. I'll one-up you on that. People who live where it doesn't snow will never understand waking up for school and watching the bottom news feed to see if school has been cancelled. It used to be quiet of other noise and then lots of kids playing outside noise. I hear less of that now. Not sure if kids okay outside in the snow less or I'm just getting crotchety and old. Damn it, I'm old. But even I go make a snowman when it snows.